Hello, everyone. In today's session, I'm going to be demonstrating to you Windows Subsystem for Linux, that is WSL. And WSL stands for Windows Subsystem for Linux. And in this session, I'm going to be discussing Ubuntu on Windows operating system, how you can install Ubuntu operating system as a guest or virtual machine to the host operating system Windows, in this case, Windows 11. So this is going to be a full course. And then if I finish it on one session, that is great. If not, because of a reboot or something, I just have to make a second video for it. But most likely, I'm hoping that I could finish everything in one session. So it's going to be a full course on Windows operating system, installation of Ubuntu virtual machine. The version is 24.4, and then that's the default version. So I'm going to do that one, and I will show you a lot of other virtual machine. And the syntax that you want to use on the PowerShell system administrator level, you just open a PowerShell prompt as administrator. The terminal that you open, the terminal is your PowerShell prompt, which is like giving you a terminal session. And then on the prompt, you type in wsl.exe -- install. If you're just doing the default, you don't have to name anything. It is going to, by default, it's going to do Ubuntu. But if you want a different one, like Fedora or Debian or Oracle Virtual Machine, then you have to give the distribution name, which I will show you the syntax as well. So first of all, there's two steps to do it from the command line. Open a PowerShell terminal as administrator, and then run the wsl.exe -- install if you want to install the default one. And then this video, I'm going to post it at youtube.com/@MyWebUniversity. @MyWebUniversity is my YouTube channel, and that's the channel handle. So you are welcome to subscribe and watch these full videos and learn from it. And so this one is just basically teaching you how to install Windows Subsystem for Linux operating system. Those two steps, that you're opening a administrator terminals within PowerShell, then run the wsl.exe -- install. The wsl.exe is an executable Windows program that runs on Python as well as command line, but you need administrator level in order to do anything with install or upgrade or unregister or terminate, all those other commands that requires privilege. You need administrator level. If you're just doing wsl.exe to see the syntax of the command, obviously you don't need administrator. And then on this video, I'm going to also be talking about post-installation for Windows Subsystem. After you install it, what you need to do and to use the Linux operating system in terms of upgrading, updating, and patching it on all software installation of, let's say you install some Python programming or the GCC compiler or C compiler, GNU, C++, C, GCC, any of them, in addition to like Apache web server, or maybe task select for this one. Maybe you have to install the XRDP or Tiger VNC or something. A lot of those tools, you could install it afterward. So you need to do the update first and upgrade option, which I will be showing you all of that. And stay tuned. This is what we are going to do. So before I get started, please make sure that if you haven't registered to MyWebUniversity, because with the number of videos that I have created, only have 2,000, maybe 400 subscriber or something, or 2,250. That's not very small for 1,000.5 videos. And these videos are very, very helpful. A lot of people that they have watched it. Unfortunately, not that many people have shared it. which is that's why a lot of people don't know about it. But you find out your loved ones and friends and classmates and maybe coworkers, share with them. They will appreciate it because they don't have to go to college and pay expensive tuition for these books. Some of the courses are like 6 hours video or longer, 4 hours or 5 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours. And then I'm teaching you Python programming, C, C++, Bash scripting, awk programming, Apache web server, PDF files, how to generate them, and then a lot of them. MySQL database, the structured query language, and then there's a number of them, our language, everything. So you can go and do a Rocky Linux or Red Hat Linux or Ubuntu or Windows operating system. There's plenty of things for you to learn. Any computer science related courses that I either taught at the college or Pasadena City College or previously at National University or Cal State Fullerton. So I am offering those knowledge and classes online for you with videos. You're welcome to watch it. These Red Hat courses are sometimes very expensive if you have to take each one of them separately. So you're welcome to watch them for free. These manual pages are 32,000 manual pages on my website that I just generated them. So you could just come in on this URL and then you see this book that I posted it, The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. The whole book is about 14 chapters and each chapter is like another book. You could learn it all using a browser. You could get 32,000 PDF files and then maybe 50,000 HTML files out of this website. More than 100,000 HTML and PDF files that are technical documentation of manual pages for Linux, Red Hat, Rocky, Linux Ubuntu, Windows PowerShell, Windows Help, and Windows Command Line for Windows 11, and all of those ones, as well as teaching you the basic of Linux on Ubuntu. You can come on my website, you will practice it for basic, intermediate, and advanced. So let's say you go on advanced, you will just see this table of content with 88 commands. Each command you do, click on it, I tell you the command usage and examples by examples, as well as you can practice them online. For example, if you click on the process stream 3, and then it's going to show you on Ubuntu process stream 3 of 1, which is the system D, and you can see system D with all the sub-processes that are there as a tree process. Similarly, for other ones, if you want to just see like LSOF, for example, you just look for the command LSOF here, somewhere here, right here, and then you just see the syntax that is there. If you want to see the manual pages, you click on it, and I produce you the manual pages for it. And then if you just say, this is great, can I just get the same thing for programming languages? Yes. In addition to like documentation on C++ and C header files that is nowhere to be found, but it is on my website. It's all available here. You could do that one. You could get thousands of PDF files. So let's say you're on Red Hat 9.2, you can see here in a very nice table, section 1 through section 9, all the PDF files available for you. So if you're looking for something, you press Control F and then type in Python, and then I give you Python 3.1 PDF files in a very nice format. Here you search it. And you say, well, this is not enough. It's only 12 pages. On Python, I want thousands of thousands. No problem. Do just Control F and type in HTTPS here. The URL that I'm giving you is here from the PDF file. This is all code reusability. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So when you give a python.org website, and somebody click on it, now they're on python.org website. Similarly, if they want to just go here, look for another one like Control F, HTTPS, and then go to this website or that website, like devguide.python.org, they can just come in and see that one. In addition, if you like, for example, here, earlier I went to python.org, you could just go to python.org and docs.python.org. Let me just show you that, what I mean by that. So HTTPS, and then you click on python.org, for example, there's already docs.python.org. So you could go on there and then just click on tutorial, and then thousands of documentation tutorials are available on each site. If you say, well, this is for Python, Wahid, can you show me something with GCC for a GNU-C collection compiler or G++? Yes, do a control F here and just type in GCC. And then when GCC comes in here on the PDF file, you click on it, I generate the GCC. This is like 679 pages long. And then at the same time, you could just say, that is just like one book, can I just get more? You just look for GCC and look at this one, openacc.org. This is on OpenACC, is very, very powerful on supercomputing environment, cloud computing, and then a lot of the universities and research centers that they do a lot of these codes. And you can see all these pragmas that are making the GPU run faster. So if you're just running the code or running it in loop, and that what I mean by running faster, running on multiple compute node and doing it. So a lot of documentation is there. And if you say, what about this one, the dynamic generation? Yeah, you could just go here and then search for anything. Like if you want to say bash, I give you the bash 87 pages there. And if you say, let me just move this one out of my way. And then like right here, you could say, give me something with a Node.js, for example. You could just get Node.js.pdf, and here is documentation. And if you say, can I get Node.js.org? So if you say search for HTTPS here, and then anything with the Node.js that is in a PDF file format or GitHub or something, like here you see Node.js.org. So Node.js.org API, Application Program Interface, Node.js.org itself. So when you come in here, there's thousands of other documentation for each module. Depending on which module you click on, OS module, you'll see all the methods that are available, all the attributes and classes. Similarly for net, all the methods and attributes and properties are available. So the methods are the one that you're using the function calls on other system, because this would be in a concept of object-oriented, like in Python and other ones. So then you have to say the dot operator. So module dot operator functions. So this is all, and there's a lot of tools here available for you. And then on the main chapter, I showed you, if you go to MyWebUniversity.com, I show you the English version of my YouTube channel, which is this one. So basically, if you click on that one, I take you to my YouTube channel, which is the one that I showed you 1,500. And if you're clicking on this one on the right side, this is the FARSI version that I wrote for my country fellows that are learning in FARSI. So these are all the videos that I posted for them to understand it in FARSI as well. And then it's about 135 at this time, but I'm making it bigger and bigger as time allows on my schedule. And this one is about 1,500 because a lot of the things that I started learning at school as a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and as Master of Science in Computer Science, and start teaching at the universities and work more than 30 years of computer-related software engineering, consulting, database administrator, system analyst, system administrator, all of those jobs. I learned a lot from it, and now I'm sharing it with you. You're welcome to share it with your friends and loved ones, so we all could benefit from it. And then this website I already mentioned to you. On this website, you can see some of the books that I just did for each of them. Like for example, on chapter 4, for each of these row 1 through row 8, I have video 1 through 8 here. So you could watch it on the video on YouTube channel and practice them online as well. Similarly for chapter 3, I have it both that 3 rows. And then for each row, I have videos right here that you can watch. These are all on Linux Ubuntu, which I'm going to do the Windows Subsystem today. So now you know about the website, you're welcome to subscribe. But let me show you what we have on Windows operating system. So this is the Windows operating system, which is the host operating system. Whenever you do virtualization, whether you use VirtualBox, which use VirtualBox Oracle software, now Oracle owns VirtualBox. It used to be virtualbox.org. Sun Microsystem bought it, and then Sun Microsystem was bought by Oracle. Oracle owns a VirtualBox. It is still free, available for you to download, to use it. But if you want to just get license and then also maybe get support, then you have to pay for the support. Similarly for VMware. VMware software, you can download it for virtualization, yet if you want to do it in business and then also get support, then you have to pay for it. And then the Windows subsystem that we are going to be showing you here is basically running on a Windows operating system. The virtual machines are all free because it either comes in from Microsoft Store, which is the storage or the actual download is already in Microsoft Store configured to run as a subsystem, or you just do it from a website and download it from the vendor website. So this is a Windows operating system. I'm going to just open this one. If I just want to see the version of Windows on your keyboard, there's a window button that you click on that one, and then this interface comes in. And then on this one, you type in WinVer. When you type in WinVer, and it's going to open this dialog box, it says about Windows and Windows 11. So you can see that Windows 11 is installed. The version is 23H2. That's the build version that is explaining to you. So if you have a Windows 10 or Windows 11, Windows 11 works with the Windows subsystem by default. But Windows 10, because it's an earlier version, you have to make sure you have a particular version that is supported under Windows subsystem for Linux. Otherwise, it's going to just say your system is too old. So at this time, this is one way you can find the operating system and the build version. Another way is you could say about page. About this PC, you can see on the about page here, you can see that it's the name of the operating system, the host name is there. The operating system edition is Windows 11, and the build version is 23H2, and OS build is actually 22.631.460. But it is Windows 11, so I'm not worried about the Windows subsystem not being supported. If you have a Windows 10, you have to make sure whatever the documentation of Windows subsystem supports at the time that you're doing the installation, make sure that your system is not older to that build version. So now you know how to do this one. You could also type in system information here. By doing system information, this is also kind of graphical interface that shows up with the summary and all the Microsoft Windows 11 professional and all that details. So you can see the processor, the name of the vendor that I purchased, and then the processor, 11 generation, core, and all that information is here. How much memory I have and all of the memory installed versus this. And if you want to get it from command line, you could also type in CMD on the screen, and then you just say, let me just clear the screen here, say system info, and then 5 more. That would give you all the system information about it, Windows, Microsoft, Windows 11 Professional, the build version, and then the processor name, the type of processor, the system manufacturer, and then all the details you can get it from here, memory, how much you have, and everything. If you want a particular one in this, you can, instead of this, you could say find/I and say OS name. That would give you the operating system Microsoft. If you wanted like a model of what is the processor architecture, then you can see Intel 64 family 6 model, and then a genuine Intel, it is at approximately 3.4 gigahertz. This 4018 megahertz is about 3.4 gigahertz. So you can get that one. You can also use the fine string here to see a little bit more detail of that one. So if you are looking for the OS name, now because the fine string matches only this string within the code. But now if I do fine string, this is like equivalent to Ubuntu or Linux, or any Linux version. Fine string is similar to egrep. This one is like a grep command. And then /i on this one, -i on the grep. So you could say search for this string or that string. Now, egrep stands for expression grep. So find string is on Windows, does the same thing. It searches for multiple string. So notice the OS, wherever OS is there, that information is there. Wherever there was name, the name like also matched on the output. And like all of these ones has name here. So I get an output from it. Versus if I just do a find string, this is like a grep command. Find string was like a egrep. Find is like a grep command. Just search exactly what it is, or fgrep, fix grep, fix a string grep, and that would be also matching a particular one. But since I'm doing the installation on Ubuntu, first I will show you those ones. So you can also use this Microsoft Store. If you type in store here, Microsoft Store, and this one, Microsoft Store, is the storage or all the repository for apps and everything that you can download from Microsoft. And then you see the apps here, the gaming and everything. So if you look for these apps that are available, like Ubuntu, for example, Ubuntu, you can see here the Ubuntu app is there. And when you click on it, you just could say, okay, if it is installed, open it. If it is not installed, update it. So you can see that I have done it previously. It does not say the version, say git. But if I just don't have it installed, maybe I could look for something like Fedora. And if it is a Fedora right here, Fedora app WSL, you can see it says open, because it looks like I have done all of them. So if I do same thing with Oracle, the Oracle Linux 9.2 or Oracle Linux 9, any of them that you want to do, and now you see the word git comes in. So when you click on the git, it will just go to Microsoft Store, download the Oracle Linux 9. And if you just say, no, I want to just get the latest one, then Oracle, when you type in Oracle, notice that you have Oracle 9.2, and then maybe after you update it, it becomes 9.4. So each one of them is going to have a Microsoft Store for a particular version, right? But then how do you know that what version you have to upgrade it? I would say that the latest and the greatest is usually if you patch it and update it and then upgrade it, usually the latest is better. But you have to make sure what is stable, what is your application, and what is your development requirement. So your system has to make sure that all the other tools running correctly. So I'm not going to do it from the graphical interface, because that is very intuitive. Anybody could do that one. So I'm going to show you from the command line how to do it. And then why am I going to show you from command line? Because if the graphical interface has an issue, usually you could search it on the browser and then maybe trace it to see what is the issue, and maybe somebody already did the problem and resolved it. But if there's no issue, anybody that can type in on, click on an icon, that the information is not knowledge. Basically, you're just learning it because there's a button there. but behind the button, there's no option for you to learn it. When you're working on Linux operating system or Unix operating system or Mac operating system, in addition to the graphical interface, which is very friendly, very user friendly, and it's available for you, you need to learn behind that one with how to use this option with the terminals and command lines, and then passing arguments, programming it PowerShell, programming it in Python, C, C++, because you could do more performance and more tasks in a very short time by multitasking it and by automating the system. So that's why it's better to learn the system than you can see behind the box. If you look at the black box, it says, okay, this is a button I clicked and it's not working, it's not going to help you. So that's why I'm suggesting that you could see from command line. So look at this one. When I type in WSL from the command line, based on some other error, it shows up here that WSL service, create instance, get the default distro, and it says not found, WSL default distro. So that, why is that one not found? And then we will check it. So in order to do that one, let's say I'm going to, actually I did already a search on something like that. Here I will show you. There's a lot of people, they wrote a lot of documentation say this is a nightmare and then problems and this and that. But if you look at it, this person that at the end he says, I figure out the problem, and it's very nice of him that let everybody know. Let's do that one, the option. In order to resolve the problem, basically you set the default version to WSL 1. When you do WSL 1 version, and this is a previous version, so it's going to work with installation of Ubuntu. We could have still set the version 2, but this issue was resolved. So I'm going to try with this one. That way, we don't have to run into further problems later on. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is set our default version to 1. We're not going to type in Ubuntu because we want to just do the default one, which is Ubuntu. Otherwise, you could also type in Ubuntu, and that's going to be the same as if you didn't type it. And then after we are done with it, then we set our default version to 2. So at this time, I'm not going to type anything here. I'm just going to leave this command prompt into here. The reason is that this is a command prompt from Windows, right? So in WSL version, you can see this is my version of WSL that is coming here. So because we're getting this error, I'm going to leave this screen here open, and I'm going to just go back to PowerShell here. So PowerShell, you can open it many ways. You can just click here, type in PowerShell. But in order to just open the version that you want, you can right click here and then say run as administrator. So notice that I have PowerShell version 7, and then I have 5 and other ones integrated in a standard environment. Whichever one you want to run as administrator. Let's just get to the PowerShell version 7, and then you can see here WSL -- version. This is going to give me the same thing. WSL by itself is going to say the same thing. Notice this error code, but we are not doing any installation. So even though I open a regular one, I want to just open one with the terminal, right? So I could right click here as simple because I have a task manager PowerShell here, right click and say run as an administrator. Then when it says, do you want to run it as administrator? It says verify the publisher. I say yes. And now this window opens, and then I just look at it, and I am on PowerShell 7.4.6. So if I just type in wsl.exec, and then just by itself, and then type in -L for listing it, currently I don't have anything installed. And so their distribution can be installed. using Microsoft Store. And then notice this URL that are specified here. I could say start dash service, or start by itself. Start is an alias. So in PowerShell, you say alias start. You can see that start is an alias to start dash process. So I could type in simply start, and what do I want to start with? If I want to open a calculator, I say start calculator, and then I work on calculator. Start dash service, calculator, I mean, not dash service, dash process. You can start services also, but this is a process. And then the process is, for example, Notepad. I could open Notepad. And similarly, if I want to just do calculator, obviously, same arguments, you just type in start dash this and then calculator. So if I want to just do the same thing with WSL, or in this case URL, this URL that was there, I want to open it with a start command, say, and just open this in the browser. So if you just gave the URL name here and then say start that one, it's going to open that one in the browser. So this is how to install Linux Windows Subsystem documentation here. And notice the syntax of the arguments is what dash dash install. If you don't give any argument, and these are very useful commands that you should learn from it. So the documentation that we saw on the this subshell, saying that also known as .microsoft WSL store. If you just go to that using your browser or just from PowerShell, you say start that one, this browser comes in and it is all commands here available for you. So you don't have to memorize a lot of it. You might not use it for so many years, right? So many years, and then you have to just redo these activities. And so it is not intuitive at all time that you're working on Windows or PowerShell or Python or Ubuntu or Red Hat or something. Each one of them, some set of commands that is not available. It's best for you to just look for them. So for example, if I just say, okay, take me to google.com and then search for WSL basic commands. So if I search for this list of basic commands, Microsoft already published this one as a list of basic commands. So I could say, well, that's great. And now I have these commands that if anytime I forgot something, I could just come in here and type in these commands, right? Since I memorize a lot of these commands when I'm doing it, and a lot of these commands, once or operating system or programming, once you understand how to do message passing and parameter passing and how to do looping, how to write functions, how to write subroutine, and how to write modules, these things have become very, very intuitive, very easy for you. So as you look at it, you say, well, I could do this with it. You could just tweak a lot of stuff and just get your job done. So let me just show you the steps here that we are doing it. So I'm going to clear my screen here. You could do clear dash host or clear screen or clear command. All of them are just doing the same thing, because alias clear command is pointing to the clear dash host. And then obviously CLS is the Windows command that is also supported, alias CLS. It is also pointing to clear host. And then at this time, and even Control L is doing a shortcut there. You could assign a character like C for alias, set alias, and then you say set dash alias, and then C is equal clear command. Okay, so set dash C. Maybe it is just the value is clear host. And then C is not doing it, but let me say set dash alias C, and then clear host. So it might not be equal sign. You see that when I put the equal sign, it did not understand it, but now C is there. Alias of C is pointing to that. So if I type in C itself, it's going to clear my host. But that's just PowerShell. And there are other videos that I have in PowerShell, and I will make more videos depending on what is your interest. Everything that I teach is based on somebody's suggestion, and making sure that if nobody makes any suggestion, whatever meets my time, I just make some video for you to help you the most if you're a student or a developer or looking for a job. So I want to just make sure that you can get your job performance in a better way. And then we all need that one. And then if you can help somebody else do that, please. That's how knowledge is passed on to the next person. So I was doing the command WSL dash dash version, and then we want to say, let's set the version of the set, let me see, WSL dash dash set set dash default version. I want to set it first to 1, like that. The person was saying that when it was getting that error, I was had to set it to version 1, and then at this time I installed the Ubuntu first. So in order to do this one, WSL dash dash less dash dash online. This is going to be equivalent to the shortcut of WSL dash L for less and dash O for online. So if you just do that one, that is going to give you a list of it. This pound in the PowerShell is a command, a comment saying that ignore this. But I'm showing you to say that whether you type in WSL dash L dash O for short version or the long version, either one works. So let me just show you that. WSL, the short version of O, and dash L dash O. And that's equivalent to WSL dash dash list dash dash online. So either one would work, as you can see from the list. And by default, if you don't set your distribution to distribution name, Ubuntu will be installed as a distribution. But you have an option, say WSL-D for distribution, and then the distribution name. And then when a version is installed, if you want to make that one as the default one, you say WSL-S, and then the version of the virtual machine or the virtual machine name. So at this time, I set it up to default version. Remember the option here? This one, we say WSL set dash default version. You do that one first, and then I had already done that WSL dash dash update. And so there's a number of things that you want to make sure that your system is, let me just clear the screen first, because my screen is blocking, and this zoom is wherever on the bottom, the zoom is in front of it, so I cannot see it. But if I type in WSL by itself without any argument, it's gonna give me syntax of the arguments, and I mean the WSL with dash dash help. Dash help is like show me the help for all of these commands that are used with the one that I showed you on the browser command list, and so all of these options are there. You're welcome to explore them and read them. It is very useful, and they're just there. At any time, you can just look for them. So once you did that one, you can say, okay, and the first thing you could also do WSL dash dash update. Update, when you do it, if you do this one, it will update it from the current Microsoft store. The most recent version of Windows Subsystem for Linux is already installed. If it was not installed, it will just make sure that it gets installed. You can also do and download from the web with the update option. You can do that one. But once you do this one, I want to show you on a number of the other things you should check to make sure your system is ready for installation. So another thing that you could do is say feature here, type in feature and then says turn on Windows features on and off. Make sure these features are on. The two features that you want to check is one is Windows Subsystem for Linux, and then it should be right here, Windows Subsystem for Linux. The other one is Virtual Machine Platform. Since these two are checked already, you're good with that one. So make sure that you run that one. The other option that we did was the set default version here. Set the default version. Let me just get that one. Okay, so it is somewhere here, but I could also type it in. I could also type it in if it is, yeah, right here, set, no, that's set the, right here. WSL set default version. And right now we do it for one, then as soon as you do that one, every time you set, that's just basically a variable, set dash default version to one. So it doesn't matter how many times you type it in. The next thing you want to do is WSL.exec or just by itself. You don't have to say .exec because that file is found on the directory of Windows System 32. So if I say directory WSL.star, you can see there's an executable file here. That's Windows Subsystem under Windows System 32. And then since it is in the path, echo percentage path, you can say percentage, you can see Windows Systems echo percentage path. So let me just see. And then, so I'm sorry, this is PowerShell, it's not Windows, so you have to do echo $sign path. And then path itself is $sign path, env colon $sign path, lowercase path. No. So git dash help, and then we could just say path. Search for anything with dash there. There's a lot there. And let's say git dash command star with path. So this git dash command is very useful. It is going to say, for example, set path and result path, and all of them are there. Clear screen. Oh, $env was the one that I wanted to do. $, path, let's see, $. So you can tab it, there's thousands of them, and most likely home path is like that, and then maybe just the path itself and $path. Yeah. So $env and the environment colon then path. That would give you the entire path, and system 32, as you can see, it is on the list there. So that is something we can just always send it to a file and then just do that information here. Like for example, we do this one and say send to a p.text. Now more p.text is there. Since I did that one, I could say, let's say open it a notepad p.text, and then right here you can look for edit and then find. Let me just move this one down a little bit. So I could say edit and find a control F and then say system 32. So that would show you where Windows System 32 is found. And then right here is the one that Windows System 32, and then that's why the executable is found. So we're going to close this notepad. We don't need it. I just wanted to show you the information. At this time, I'm going to do the next step, which is Windows Subsystem. And then whether you do .exec or not .exec, it's going to find that one. And then you just say dash dash install. And then if you don't put Ubuntu, by default, it's going to do the Ubuntu here. So Ubuntu, as you saw at the Microsoft Store, it was saying that it's already installed, but it's going to just update it now. Because you had an option of update and then also an option of getting it, right? Opening it. So now it says Ubuntu is already installed, launching Ubuntu. Install this may take a few minutes. This is going to take a little bit. Sometimes it's much faster, like a minute or two. So I'm going to just pause the video to make sure that we don't wait indefinitely on it. But at the same time, I could just go on the store to show you. If I search for Ubuntu here, and then we search for Ubuntu apps, and then right here, you see that option was open or update. So since we didn't use the store, at this time it's already installed, it is doing the update. And that's why I'm going to just wait for it. And then I'm going to pause the video. And then as soon as this is done, I'll come back to it. Okay, as you can see, it takes a little bit longer than what I thought, but let's just open another terminal and then show you more while this is in progress. So I want to just show you some of the options with WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. So I'm going to right click on the here, and then I open a terminal. Rather than opening a terminal that's similar to this one, I want to open a terminal with Windows PowerShell version 2 or something. So let's just do PowerShell. You type in here, and then notice that I have this one, which is this PowerShell 5, and then also the integrated standard environment. I could also open this one just to give you an interface there, but I forgot to just actually open it in PowerShell as an administrator. So I'm going to open this one, PowerShell Integrated Standard Environment, or Integrated Scripting Environment. Run it as administrator. And now notice this interface comes in and I have another session here. I could type in here or I could type in on the scripting. Either way, it's going to work. But let's just type it in here and then run it there. So we could say WSL, and then by this, you just click on here and you get the WSL running here, and it will just show you what is WSL. If it is installed, it's gonna just open it. But since I don't want to just at this time get into WSL, I could Control C out of this one and then clear my screen here, and then give an option of WSL dash O dash list dash O for online to see what is available out there. So you can see the list is huge here, all the things that are installed. If I move this one up here, and then you can see the list is there. I don't like the font of this one, so I'm going to close this one, say, do you want to do this one? I could always change the font and everything, but I'd rather open another one here with PowerShell, this one, yeah, I run as administrator. And this one is also similar window in terms of the coloring. I could right click here, say properties, and change the color of that one from dark green to something else. So let's just change this one to a different one. Like here, you could just say, make this one 0 for the blue, and I want to do 50 for dark green, and then everything else is okay. Red is 0 also. So we have a different color, so it is easily distinguishable. And here, if I wanted a little bit darker than 50, that would look nicer. So it's going to just show on colors. And then instead of 50, let's say we do 35, darker. The lower the number, the darker the color. So this is what I like on the font, so the color. So at this time we are doing a WSL less dash O. It is saying that these are available for installation. As you can see here, if I go to the list, we clear the command and run that command. You can see WSL list command here is there, and then maybe the font is a little bit too small for it. Maybe I could just resize it. Yeah, now it's fitting that one, so we know that nothing is happening here. We could just have it and this one. WSL-L-O, you can see that names that are available for my installation. This is online. What is list all the options that I can do installation. So you can do Ubuntu, you can do Debian, Kali Linux, Ubuntu 18, different version of Ubuntu, including 24.04. I believe when you do the default one, Ubuntu, this one would be giving you the latest version available on this repository. Similarly, if you do Oracle, you have to do the 9.1 or 9.2, the one that was on the store. So some of these systems, you don't want to go back to the older ones with a lot of errors and a lot of patches, unless you're working on a development that you want to test some application that you used to run it on it, and you're tied with that end of life service. That is the different issue. But mostly you want to just do the latest and greatest one and get it done. So the other one is OpenSUSE. There's two versions of OpenSUSE, two variation. One is the flavor of leaf. The other one is tumbleweed, and that is also OpenSUSE. And then SUSE or SUSE Linux, you have also enterprise version of it. You can have it. And this Oracle 9.1 and 9.2 usually is the enterprise level. You can see that Rocky Linux is not there on CentOS. Obviously, you can do download from the web and then do it on the VirtualBox. That machine that I did here on VirtualBox, I did a lot of these ones. And you can see Rocky 9, MyWebUniversity, this is Ubuntu, Linux Mint, algorithm is Rocky, Red Hat, and then Rocky, even Solaris operating system, Solaris 11.4, and then Ubuntu 23. Different version. I have done a lot of those videos for you. You're welcome to see them and learn from them. Each one of them are there for you to just practice with them. So today we're doing this one. This is taking much longer than it should be. So I'm going to pause a little bit more and then wait till this one is completed. Okay, as you can see, this is taking longer than what I thought. What I'm going to do is check on it. In order to check on it, that's why the power of command line comes in. So you can see what is the status of this one is an activity. It says, please wait, but it took a lot more than a few minutes. So I'm going to just, well, it was 8:42 and now it's 8:55 and it is still not done. But most likely it is done. It is just waiting for some process to get closed or something, like in the file marker, something to be written. So let's just look at this terminal here. And as you can see here, this is a list of things that are available. I say WSL list. When you do the L or dash list, it will show what is already installed on your system locally. If you do dash O with it for online, it will show what is online there. So if you just use the lowercase one character, the shortcut, -L-O, it will show with the space here. Well, with the space, and then you see what is available here, right? So that's what is showing you available. But at the same time, you say WSL-L, it will show you the Ubuntu default one is installed. But how do we know if that one is running or not? That's when you type in --running. --running is, you could see that this one is also running here. So in order to just get into it, and we just type in WSL. And then WSL, that would just try to run the system to invoke it here. Let me just make this screen. Actually, I could make it wider here. And notice that the passage is to disable. So I'm going to just not disable it at this time. And if I just type in exit here and WSL-L, it shows there WSL-L or --less --running. You could do a shortcut -L or --less either way. So now we know that it is running. In order to get it, I could just type in WSL by itself. And then if I just have more than one session, like let's say I did Fedora or something, then I could say -S and then Ubuntu. Now my version is set to Ubuntu as default. In this case, it's already default is that you could do it. But if you had more than one, you want to switch between them, this -S for switch the Ubuntu version distribution. So now I say WSL-L, it is still there. I open it and then it dropped me already there, right? So if I clear screen, notice it is just giving me this root algorithm there, and then it says this mount point. So the Windows System 32 from C drive is getting mounted here. But if I just do a CD here by default, I'm going to root algorithm here. So notice here, if I say ID-UN, I am root. It did not prompt me for a user. If I want to just create a user, usually the first installation, it will just prompt you for a user. Most likely my user might be there. So if I say get end password root, you can see that information is there. Also, this information, I could say ID-UN, that would do the same thing, or the sub commands, $ ID-UN. These are all equivalent commands, whether you do type in the hardcode name root. But if I just, instead of this one, I type in Wahid, that Wahid user doesn't exist. So if I say get grep -i root from etc password and etc group, I'm not going to do it from shadow because it has the password entry. I don't want to show that one. But if I do that one and I say the same thing with grep -i Wahid, notice that user Wahid does not exist and it's not returning anything. So I'm going to create a user. That way we can use a regular user to authenticate to this machine. So I say user add. Remember on chapter 4, I just showed you how to use create accounts and everything, user add, user group, user mode, all of that, group mode, group add, group del. So user add, I'm going to create a user Wahid. At this time, if I just use up arrow, notice that user Wahid with group ID Wahid is already added here on the system. So if I just look for grep -i for, let's say also on this one, I could say etc shadow. At this time, I have not assigned a password. So it is this bank exclamation mark and saying that it is empty. I have not assigned it. And this is the password expiration, the saying that it's going to expire in a certain timestamp. We have to update it every time that you do it. There's commands that I could show you to lock it, and you don't want to lock it because you have to, for security reason, after 90 days, you just do it. Otherwise, you could just type in pass wd minus x minus 1, the username. Unlike root, if you don't want to log in and don't get locked out, or Oracle database account, you want to do those ones. So at this time, I'm just going to say Wahid is on all these files. So that means /home Wahid is not there. That means I have to create that one. So make dir minus p home Wahid. The reason, because I just use a user add without any argument of what shell I want to use, what account I want to use. So I could do those ones with the shell to say ben bash or something. Those options are the default ones. So I could just say make dir change owner Wahid colon Wahid, and then home Wahid. And now ls minus lg home Wahid is there, and then the permissions are okay. So if I switch user to Wahid as root, I can do that one. And now I say id-un is there, pwd there, but I can tag a file this and then look at this, and that file is there. Rm this, I can remove the file. So I have the permissions there. And if I say get end password, and then $sign id-un, since I'm logged on as Wahid, this one will read Wahid user. It's equivalent to say get end password Wahid, and then that would do it, or backtick id-un. We just did that one. Get end password, and then backtick. Backtick is that symbol. Get id-un, give me user and name. That will just tell you that. And then echo $sign shell, notice is there as Wahid. So I don't want to do that one. I want to just do the user add command a different way. So now I'm going to just say user del Wahid. Now I just deleted Wahid, but notice grep minus I Wahid, etc password, etc shadow, etc group, all are gone. But how about the /home Wahid? /home Wahid is not gone because I did not remove it. So I'm going to say rm minus rf home Wahid, and that is, I'm just trying to show you basic Linux commands that you can do on the fly. At this time, I'm going to say this time, I want to say user add minus directory /home Wahid minus shell /bin bash, and then the username is Wahid. This time I created that one, so if I just do again this grep command, you can see that all of them are there, including /home Wahid. There, it is not there. Maybe minus K, and the option would be there. So man bash, you can see that the option is like K is for a skeleton. Yeah, skeleton files, and path is D is there, and then maybe I could have just done the KK option. So let's see, user del home, actually user del Wahid, and then we go back here with the user add, and then we say minus K minus shell minus D was not there, minus M or K, one of those options are there. Yeah, minus M maybe is the create home. Yeah, minus M actually. So you can see that I had done this one maybe 6 or 8 years ago, or 13 years ago. So it just sometimes doesn't ring a bell with the same option. So minus M, and then you have to do also with minus M option, no create home directory, create a user home directory. There's one of these other option, minus D home directory in addition. So, and the combination of D and K, maybe that is what it is. So I'm gonna say minus D and then minus M. Minus M or minus D, something like that, yeah. So this one is there, grep minus I, Wahid, etc password, etc shadow, etc group, and then those are there, plus minus LD home Wahid, and that's there. And then notice the ownership and the group is already there because of this minus D and minus M option, it created the slash home Wahid. And if I switch user to Wahid, I type in clear my screen, say ID dash UN, it says there, ID dash A for all of them, it's there. Get end password Wahid, you can see that. Now, since I have modified it, I'm going to also change my password, see if I can say the password Wahid, and then I'm the current user, so let's see if I can do it. But if you want to do it for a different user, you have to be logged on as a root. Notice it says authentication token manipulation error because of the privilege. So ID-UN is Wahid itself. It does not allow me, but I could say password Wahid as root. And then let me show you ID-UN and root here. ID-A, root is user ID, group is also root, and then those ones, groups of this one is root also. If I go switch user to Wahid, ID is that, and then groups is also Wahid. So I go with the root ID-UN, I say password Wahid, and I'm going to be successful this time because I have the privilege that I want to do. So that just change password for Wahid. Now, if I just log into this machine with SSH or something to make sure that, yeah, this is good machine, but I need to install SSH for it. So in order to do that one, I say apt list here. This is all the packages that as a result of that binary that was saying that WSL is doing the update. Look at how many packages are getting installed. So that blue screen that was there, the blue screen that was saying that this is still there right here, the blue screen here, you can see install, this one is taking a while, but it is going to eventually terminate and say successfully done. It's going to prompt me for user. Since it's in the middle of it, I could just still get this information from opening multitasking it. So if I just say how many packages are there, you can see 9,116 as a default that comes in, right? But in order for me to get the software installed, if I say apt install task select, and notice that it says, oh, I cannot do this one. Why can you do that one? You could say etc app directory. There's this sources.list. This is the file. So cap -n etc app sources.list. This is the file that is actually the repository of app. So in this case, we are going to do that one, and then I'm going to say app list word count -l. Notice that this time when I say app install task select, it says I cannot do it because I don't know a package called tasksel for select. So in order to do that, when you have to update your system, cat -n etc os-release, you can see it is Ubuntu 24.04, but I only had 9,116 packages. There's a lot more into it. So in order to get everything and then the repository up to date, you say you're typing apt. So this is host name, and then date is there, calendar. As of, I'm sorry, calendar is not installed, for example. If I say apt install ncal, it's going to say, I don't understand if there's any package for ncal. In order to fix these things, you need to do first host name, and you say today's date is there. Now let's do update your packages. You say apt update -y for updated, And when you're done with update, then do upgrade at the same time, -Y, and you're pressing enter. This ampersand, that double ampersand, saying that when this command succeeded, then finish this one also. It's like a run this command and run this command. That's an and statement, not an or statement. So it has to, and this has to return a $ echo, $0 is successful at the end of it, then it's going to run this command. So I'm going to run this one, and then that should do all the updates. And then once this one is done, you can see how many packages are there, 116 altogether, or maybe a lot more. But they are getting done. And then as soon as your 29,000, 2,900 or something, the numbers, it changes all the time, right? How many it's getting done. But you can see the progress here are happening. So unfortunately, my Zoom was on top of it. I couldn't read it that fast as it is doing it. And you can see this window is progressing, 57%, 74%, 84%. So when the system is up to date with the packages, all these packages, you can see triggers and lib and GSS and all that one, curl, Ben utilities, a lot of these packages are getting updated, the version that needs to be updated. Then your repository is going to get updated. And then this time it is all the update and upgrade is done. So if I just use the up arrow command here to run the same command again, this time is going to just say your system is already good. You see that? 0 need to be done. Everything is up to date. So no matter how many times after this moment I run it, I get a very shorter version. It's not going to just reapply the same patches or the same packages, right? It is already there. It detects it very smart. So at this time, if I say that's good, can I now install app? When I type calendar, it's not there. But if I say, you see that it already tell you that the system, you can install a new calendar. So I could say app install new calendar. That will just install it, and then I can run that command calendar. It would work. Which calendar is a symbolic link to user bin ncal. So that is symbolic link to ncal, and the file user bin ncal is actually executable link format 64-bit, as you can see here. So that is there. And so whether you type in cal or you type in ncal, it's the same program runs. But notice the ncal is a little bit a new calendar, so the syntax and the argument, the date is highlighted. It's really nice format. You can also get cal -j for like a Julian format of that data. So by default calendar and then cal -j is going to give you the current month. If you wanted a different month, like this is month of 11, you want 12 of 2024, you can just type in that for the year. If you just say cal first, it just gave you that entire thing. Cal 19070, that's January 1st of 1970, the first January, the month of January. If you wanted calendar of February, then you will get February. And if you say calendar minus before 2 months from November, so November is the current month. If you just type in cal, it's going to say current month in November, as you can see from the date that is Pacific Standard Time is 21:15, 9:15 of Pacific Standard Time. So you can see that if that's 9:15, so time is already synced. And then you can see that November, 2 months before that one. If you say, well, the current month is November, can I just get like calendar minus A 2 months after? 2 months after November would be January, right? So you get the December and January of 2025. And if you look at the January, if you say cal 1 2025, then you know that next year it will start on Wednesday. If you're looking for what is next year. So these are commands that we did that. Now, this time if I say which task select, it's not installed. So if I say app install task select, last time it was not working, now it's going to work. It's going to find it on the repository, say task select dash data, all the repository for it is there. So now if I say task list, task cell for select, or sorry, not tasks list, app list, application package toolkits. It says that is installed. And you could say app info task select, that will give you the information of that package. So by default app, they'll give you a list of commands you can do. List, search, show, install, remove, all of that one. It's really cool to learn the package manager. In this case, apt is one of the package manager, Debian PKG is another one, that's the mother of all packages on Ubuntu, and then snap is another one. Snap is another one. So snap is at this time is interacting with snapd, and then we can install it if it is not, the command has been left available for documentation purpose. Yeah, we could just get that one as well. If I just say, for example, banner, let's say Ubuntu. So banner is not installed, and it says in order to install it, you just do access of banner. So I'm going to say apt install system V. System V means system 5 banner. System 5 banner is the default one for it. And then say, okay, now say which banner it is there, because apt list says V banner, we just installed that one as installed. So if I type in banner Ubuntu, it's going to say banner Ubuntu there. And then if I just say, let's say we did that one and I want to just make it in color. So clear screen, which laugh out loud cat, this is not installed, then I'm going to say apt install laugh out loud cat. And then that package is going to be found here. And then now we have installed it. So a lot of the packages, when you're doing it, it's very good to install them and practice with them. I'll show you a number of them today. That way you know that when you get your Linux Ubuntu virtual machine on running as a subsystem, you're good with it. So let me just do this. And now I go with the banner command. So we did the banner here with Ubuntu, it did it, but I want to write laugh out loud cat, and now print it in a very nice color there. So which laugh out loud cat, that command is there. And then obviously laugh out loud cat, laugh out loud cat dash dash help has a lot of arguments. You can just see the options that are there. You want to set the foreground, background, and the different threshold and different options. So a lot of these things you could do that one. Notice that laugh out loud cat, every time you do, it is going to be a different color. And so it is not like one color that's always there. You can see the color changes, right? So it is good that you could write banner piece for all. And then you can see right like that. And then we say piece for all, and then not peach for all, piece for all. Piece for all, and then laugh out loud cat. And then you can see that the word comes in here. And then if you just say piece for all, this one is in one string. That way it is not too much to go over the screen. You can do that one also. But sometimes some words are longer. It only allows you about 10 or 12 characters or 10 characters, then after that one will be truncated. So here, if I just say the same thing, peace for all, every time I do it with different colors, it's going to be printed. And then if you like that format, you could just look at it and just leave it on your screen or something, because it's nice to have a green peace for all, right? Life, it goes on for everybody, but let's have peace for everybody in the world. So that would be the best thing we as human could accomplish in our lifetime. Okay, so we did the banner stuff, and now I'm going to do the task select option. Why did I install the task select? Because I want to just run this task select, and I'm going to just select the GNOME, for example, and the GNOME distribution, or you could do XFC, whichever version of the KDE or in the desktop graphical interface you want, you could just select that one by just pressing the space bar. You don't want to do more than one. So, and XFCE is not good. You can do it. I just only do the GNOME. If you like XFCE, and just do it that way. Don't do GNOME here and then choose that one. But you cannot do both at the same time. It is gonna get confusing with all those ones to see which one is the one that you wanna set in the environment. So I did the Debian desktop and GNOME, and I'm going to just press tab. I'm sorry. If you press escape and instead of the tab, it will just escape it. So now I'm going to select it again, and then I'm going to tab, and then it's going to go to OK. And let me just show you this. And you can see that the OK is selected. Now I press enter, it will actually do the installation. And then that package gets installed. You can see a 1092 for GNOME desktop version. All of those ones get installed, and 302, and then 24-second remaining. So within the 24-second or 53 seconds, so it changes as it progresses. It goes fast up to like a 40%, and then slow down, then it goes back fast. So this is something that you can see. It now says 9 minutes is left. So I'll just pause the video because I don't want this one to be waiting 9 minutes for this. Okay, this time apt-get failed, even though it says 100%. Let's see what happened there. Task cell for selection. And then the option is selected. So if I just say okay at this time, if that is the option that is already done, it will not do anything. But if needs to be updated, it will do it. Since it's already done, it looks like that apt-get failed 100% is not accurate, but I will just do something else here. And so in order to do this one, to find out GNOME graphic is installed, we could also do app search, and then GNOME by itself, and then look for grep-i desktop to see what or the name of the packages for GNOME desktop. So you can see Ubuntu GNOME desktop. I'm going to install this package here, Ubuntu GNOME desktop. So we say apt install. Let's just, before we install it, we say apt search Ubuntu-GNOME-desktop, if it is already installed or not. And then you can see it says that the Ubuntu package transitional packages. So I'm going to try that one. Say apt install Ubuntu-GNOME-desktop. That's for the graphic desktop. All the drivers, you can see all those other fonts and other libraries for GNOME and X session should be all good to go after this gets installed. And then we could do a search on it and info on it and everything. And now it's updating the repository. So it is 5% again. It is going to take a little bit time because that packages have a lot of dependencies, a lot of sub packages, and unpacking has all of them or in the progress. So let's pause it for a minute. It just completed, but notice that the sub processes, the different packages failed at this time. Something at the end of it, it just is were encountered while processing. Error were system OMD. So when that happens, sometimes you can do debian pkg dash configure dash a for all, and then that would also fail to take etc password lock invalid arguments. So somehow the password is locked here. What we are, because of that blue screen is still sitting there. This one is still sitting there. That's why some of these work is not getting completed. So if you do experience this kind of issue, it is just happening because of some of the Windows Subsystem registry and other ones, or having some entries that are issue or something on your memory base that was left over from last time. It is really hard to just know exactly why this is just sitting there when this other interface that is doing some part of it and some part of it, it comes out with the password lock. And you can see this blue screen is supposed to come out with the user account, and we created from the screen a screen because we did not install it. But I'm going to try to fix some of these stuff up here. So how you do that one? Let's do cat minus -NETC OS-release. We have the system of Ubuntu 24.04 long-term support, as you can see on line 1. So uname minus A is going to give you that definition, uname dash N, the node name, uname dash M, machine type, uname dash M, machine type, and then uname dash P for processor name and all that thing. So at this time, what do I need to do is I'm going to install additional software. So I say apt install XRDP. XRDP is for remote desktop. So the X session, because we just installed the GNOME session. So in order to RDP to this machine, we have to install XRDP. And notice that the lock again is happening there. And then the firewall update, and this thing is failing because it's trying to update some of the stuff, and some of them with the system D is creating the symbolic link, some of them it doesn't. So if I just say systemctl status, this is telling you that the system is hanging on that process. The host is down when the system is up and running. So at this time, there's a number of other things I could show you. For example, let's exit out of this one. You say WSL-L. It shows that Ubuntu WSL-L running. See what is running. And now you can see Ubuntu is running because of that blue screen. The blue screen is still hanging here, right? So at this time, I have no other option to just terminate that blue screen, so we can move on with this one to see how it does. How do we terminate it? We say WSL-T for terminate, and then Ubuntu. Ubuntu. So now the subsystem is terminated. If I say running, nothing is running. But in order to get back to that one, let's see if the blue screen also disappeared or not. Okay, the blue screen is still hanging there. Okay, now it just says installation successful. So this, because we did a dash T for terminated, this sub processes that was hanging, it just terminated, and then it says installation successful. But notice that I'm already prompted here on the login with the user Wahid, and then it created the account because I created the account manually earlier, right? So that is good. So cat minus n etc os dash release, it is telling me that this is all good here. So now what I want to do is use this window, and I'm going to say sudo su dash, and then I'm going to just become sudo root. And then once I'm root here, id dash un says Wahid is not in the sudo files. So earlier I was on the sudo files, and when I exit out now, I don't have even sudo privilege here. So let's see on the other screen. This one I'm also logged out. So now we're tied. We're stuck because WSL does not take the password of that one, and then the user is not there. So the only thing is to boot it off a single user mode, and then change the root password, and then those options. So let me see if I can do WSL here, and then sudo su dash. Yeah, it's not. It's gonna say Wahid is not in the sudo files. Yeah, and then on the option here that since we're not into a single user mode, we cannot install additional software here, which Python, so which GCC, none of these are there, right? Which J++, none of them are there because I have to install it as root. So I'm going to make sure that I can boot it off on single user mode, change the password to root. Okay, so if you're hanged with the user not having the sudo privilege, you have to do from command line here from Windows, as if you're going in a single user mode. In this case, WSL allow you to run a command. So what I did here is that you could say WSL dash U as run it as root, and then run vi sudo. Vi sudo is the opening the vi etc sudo files for edit, and then the entry that you want to just add the user right here under the search of where it says root has all the privileges. I just added Wahid to have all the privileges. So now Wahid can do sudo as well as all the commands that root can do. And then since I did it here, I did a control O for write, and then I saved it as etc sudo files rather than etc sudo.temp. You don't want to save it as temp. And then after that one, you override the etc sudo files with that entry there, and then control X for exit. Since I did not make any changes this time, I'm going to just leave it blank. Now I say WSL here is gonna just take me there. So if I just cd here and go back to my main directory, hostname id dash un is Wahid, but this time I could do switch user sudo su dash, and then become root, and then type in the root my user ID for password for Wahid, and now I'm root. So this is how you fix that issue with that option, right? So at this time, I need to do a couple of more software installation that was hanging before. So let's do that one again. And so what we want to do is say apt install task cell, and this one was done successfully before, but because of the lock invalid argument, error sub process is there. So it is still hanging. So let's do a few more things. I'm going to say what version of Python I have. So I don't have Python installed on this machine, but I have Python 3 installed. So use a ben Python 3, you can see that Python is there. And then if I just want to say something hello 5 times or something, you could simply say for item and range of let's say 5 times, you could say print the f string and then say the number, in this case, the item, which would be 1 through 4, 5 being the last one, and then 5 is not going to be listed, so 0 through 4 actually is going to do 5 times. And then say hello world, and then that would be a simple test for Python functionality, and then you can see that one. And if I say import math as m, and then m dot square root of let's say 100, you could get that 10, and the root of 100, 10,000 is 100, and so on. And then math dot pi value and math dot sine and cosine, all of those variables are there. And so if you say, can I import matpy or maybe run operating system commands? Yes, you could. So for example, say import OS and then os.system, and then let's see what OS we have. You could say uname-a here, and it will give you the operating system there. But I did not close the string, so that's why it didn't do it. If I say os.system and then run the clear command, it will clear my system, and then instead of clear command, I could say and give me the cat -n etc os-release, for example. Similarly, like I could say, and instead of cat -n, you say cat -ea, so all of the invisible characters like end of line characters and tabs and everything, if you want to see it, they're like that. Or you say, and instead of cat -ea, you could say, show me a long listing with -d, the file name, and there. Or instead of ls-ld, you could say, give me stat on that file, statistic data. Or just instead of statistic, say what type of file that file is. You say file. So there's a lot of things you can do in the OS level with the OS module, and there's sys modules and NumPy modules and pandas module. So by default, some of the modules are already there. So if I just say, go ahead, clear my screen here, and then run this one, and then at the same time say, show me a pep list here. Say, okay, pep is not found, but maybe pep 3 is there or not. Pep 3 is not there. So if you don't see that one, now we have to say apt install Python 3, then pep. So that would install pep, and then say, yes, go ahead and install it. Since I'm doing it within Python itself, I could have been within the OS module, and all I have to do is say apt install Python 3-pep. I didn't have to do OS module. But since I didn't want to get out of inside Python, I wanted to execute that one. I show you that inside Python, you have same kind of options that you could do this one with OS module. So OS module is a very good module. It allows you there. And then now you can see that some of the GCC version are already there, but we don't have GCC installed. Maybe I'll show you that one also after I do this one. Now you can see that Debian packages failed again. So let's try clearing the screen here. And then we go, instead of the Debian packages, we say now, say dpkg space -- configure -a for all, and see if, yeah, etc password locked and valid and file. So I want to just show you like some of these pep that we just installed. We could say pep list, even though that error comes in, the package pep Python 3-pep got installed, and you can see here that is there. And then if I just clear my screen again and say pep list, and then say grep minus I requests, then you can see if the request module is there, broken pipe, grep dash I missed the dash, that's why. So that module's there. And if you say request, say grep minus I numpy, it is not there. And then grep minus I pandas, it's not there. So all I have to do is say, for this one, I could say, on this one, say pep install numpy. So if I was outside of the operating system as root, I could have done this one. But because I started Python as outside of it with that user, I could do this one. I'm going to just not do this option in order to not confuse you. And I will just quit out of this one and then clear my screen, say pep install numpy module. This is how you would do it. Since this package is apt, it says that instead of pep install, you want to use Python 3 XYZ package name. So you say apt install and then Python 3-numpy. This would be the other method that you would install numpy on this one because it's Ubuntu. And so whatever is the name of the package, you just say pep install Python 3-pandas, whatever package that you need to install. Fail to take etc password. And remember that blue screen, somehow that password file is having an issue. Let's just look at see, yeah, this password file should not be like that. Password file is okay, it's readable by everybody, but shadow file might have caused the problem. Yeah, shadow file should be only read-write by root and then should not be readable by the group shadow. So shadow people that they have belong to that group, they can read it. And normally this file should be change mode 600 etc shadow. So etc shadow file should be that permission. It should be locked for everybody. So if a regular user wants to read the content of the shadow file, should not be able to do it. Only root should have read-write on it, and then everybody else should be having no permission. Root normally have, even if it's 0, it should be open. This dash R, the right, does not make any sense. You could just say change mode or something. So if you just go Google it, let's say, for example, if you see shadow default permission for Ubuntu. I mean, for all Linux version, the etc shadow file should be the same, but you can double check it. I haven't done this work for years. Why is this one just can't reach this page? Let me see. Google.com /etc shadow permission, file permission. See that is 400, it's 600. This one, why is the file permission for this is set to 600? That's should be 400, 00 for this. 400 and 600, what is the difference? 400 means only read access. Read access to the root, and then since it is writable by a root anyway, whether you do it 400 or 600, root can read and write to it and execute as well, but that file is not executable. It's just a source file. So it's 400 is the right permission for it, and then nobody that has root access care about it, because you could, as root, whether it is 600 etc shadow file, and then grep minus I, grep, let's say head -1. First line for the root, if you look at it, the shadow file is there's no password for root set. I'm going to set the root password. Okay, now I change the root password. I don't want to do a grep, so instead of this asterisk, it's going to just show the password file entries there. Just to prove it to you, I could do something like a small subset of that one. We could say at -1, and then I could just say cut minus character 1 through maybe this is 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 characters. I'm not gonna show the rest of them. That would show that there is a combination. If I want to go 11 characters, after 9, there's another character, but obviously there's a lot more there. Just to prove it to you that this information, we just change it there, okay? So let me just go back to the shadow file. We did that one. Change mode 400 etc shadow. That root is still could read it. Remember, root has higher privilege, even though the permission is 400 or 600, doesn't matter. And that 400 is just read for only the owner, and then everybody else is blocked. But if you set it to dash as root, you can read it still, and you can still write to it. So it's still modifiable by root there. So if I just say password and then say root, now watch, I go assign a password to it. And notice that it change it, but even though it changed it, it just still is going to show if I want to get like 5 characters of it, and you can see that the 5, if I say 8 characters of it, that file got modified, right? With the new salt stuff and new encryption stuff there. So what am I showing you here? The permission, we did that one. Now let's do app install VM. So let's see if VM is already installed on this one. Wedge and VM. VM is already installed. So I'm gonna say app list tmax. Is tmax installed? I'm going to say app install tmax. It is installed already. I'm going to just go over it. Invalid, failed to take etc password lock, invalid argument. So let me just see this lock, what is going on here. Yes minus EFA grep minus I lock. We could say lsof, list of all open files here, lsof, and then see if anything with grep minus I for lock. It is not there. And the var run stuff, sometimes these locks are happening. So one other tool we have is under trace. We could do that one. Let's see, the command that I did here for running it, pip install tmax, and then say go ahead, do it, and then says setting up system D, invalid argument, error, and Debian packages, processing package, system D OOMD -- configure. Install system D packages, post installation scripts are processed, return error code, this one. So somehow the system D, because this one might not be using system D, it might be using system 5 release 4, which is system 5 init rather than system D. But we could do system CTL status and to see, yeah, that one is not using it. So PS minus EF grep minus I. Remember that PS3 command is process 1, and you can see process 3 as init. So that means, and instead of system D, it is using system and services. Services as the older system for system 5. And then system D is system 7 and up, And then even though this is Ubuntu 24, which is after Ubuntu 16, you are using systemd, but this is the Windows Subsystem for Linux, and it doesn't support it. It is init is the file that user has been, init is the equivalent to systemd for you can see a symbolic link to user lib systemd, but init is actually a binary file, even though it's a user, it's in a symbolic link. It is symbolic link to lib systemd system. That one is a directory you can see here, and that one, if you do a list minus ld, you can see there's lib systemd and user lib systemd. Ls minus l, you will see all the files that are there. And then if I say systemctl cat systemd, those commands are with systemctl are not going to work on this one, because this is System 5 release 4 init, which init, and then that one was the process ID of that one was 1, right? Process ID 1, PID. So if I say PS3 1, then you can see that init invoke all these sub processes. So my current process is a sudo here, that is this one, and then switch user is there, and then bash is there, and then I just run the PS3, which is like process stream 3. But the parent process of all of that one was init, which is this, which is the mother of all processes. So system D is not supported on this system. We have to use the service command. Service is telling you that as a Red Hat and Ubuntu, when they were on System 5, init and services were available. And then on the System 7, and System D and System CTL, Journal D, and all of those other ones are available. So by default, if you say service, you say what do you want to get the service list. So let's see what are the services that are currently available here. -- status, status dash all. It will show all the services that are there. And now notice the XRDP is there, but let's see if the process of XRDP is running. It's not running. So if you see XRDP here, there's a directory with all these processes, and then start Windows Manager.sh is the file. So normally you might want to just set up the export gnome configuration for startup D for this one to work with, or we could just simply start it, see how it works. So we could say service XRDP and status. If it says it's not running, and instead of status, we say start. Now it is starting, and now we do status is there. So now we go grep -i XRDP, you can see that it is listening. If you go netstat -an, and then for all, and then grep -i port 3389, it is okay. Netstat is not installed, so you have to do apt install net tools in order to get netstat working. So when we do net tools, these messages at this time we're going to ignore it, because this is as a log due to that black blue screen, and then the Debian packages. But at some point we could check on this file, this argument here on the browser, to see if google.com, to see if there's a solution already introduced. No, this is not the screen that I wanted to copy. Okay, valid argument failed to lock the password. And then see, Control V, failed to lock, error failed to this one. So updating systemd and WSL Kali Linux field. So a lot of these ones, people are saying something with it, the password file, you can see. But remember, I was showing you at the very beginning here that someone was saying that my issue that after installation, I had to set the default version back to 2. So let's exit out of this one and then set the default version back to 2 and then log in again. So I'm going to say WSL set default version, and now we're going to set it to 2. For information on key differences, WSL package, and it also shows you this page, which I'm going to open. You say start on this page. This is nice because it compares WSL1 versus WSL2, and you're welcome to look at it, see what are the differences, some of the features that are enabled on one versus the other one is not there. As you can see, supported system D version 2 is supported, but not version 1. So that's why we were getting that error for it there. So when you do the supported system D for and WSL2, now we should be okay, I believe. And that's a lot of nice things here that you could do. That's why I like this documentation that is going to give you, and you have to dig in a little bit to just find out the solution to your system. So now I say this one, and then I'm gonna say sudo su dash, and then the first thing I'm gonna do is say systemctl status to see that is still not coming. That's fine. I'm gonna say apt install task and select to make sure that this package still fails. That is an issue. So clear screen uptime, you can see it is giving it 24 minutes. That means we didn't terminate it. So I'm gonna just, since I brought it up as the SSL version, so I'm gonna say WSL-T and -L first to show it. Then I say WSL-T Ubuntu. And then now we terminate it. Now we say go back started. So if you want to start it here, you can also come in from this one to start it right here. That would also give you the same thing. So there's a number of ways that you could bring up the system. And then if I say uptime here, notice it's 0 minutes because we terminated. So I'm going to just work on this other screen that we had, WSL, and then I'm going to say cat -n etc os-release. And this time, clear screen, uptime. You can see it's 0 minutes. So that is good. That's good news. So sudo su dash. Let's go here. And then at this time, we're going to say apt install task select. If it still goes with the password file, that is something with the system D. System D is, even though on that information it was saying that it is supported, it is not supported. So I'm going to say systemctl status. If I run this one, it's not going to do it. Systemctl enable XRDP. And you can see that you can enable it for something for etc services. So we could do that one. Systemctl enable task select, and that's not a service. So we could do RDP now service XRDP restart. So we want to restart it now. PS -EF grep -I XRDP is in running state. In order to see this one, remember the next stat I installed. Now I can say grep ED 3389. That is port 3389 is not showing. Maybe it's another port 33. Let's start -AN it might not show anything. Yeah, nothing there. So for XORDP, LSOF minus I 389 is not also showing there. So what is the port grep minus I XORDP DC services? You see it is not showing. Now I'm going to reinstall XORDP. App install XORDP. Actually, not install, reinstall. Reinstall it to do it again. And that information from systemd OOMD. Let's see if we can do this package itself. We say app install system D. Let me move the zoom out of my view. I'm going to say app install, and then the name of the package was called. Okay, so there's a firewall update, and then also system D-OOMD. And then let's see if that solved that problem. Yeah, it is not. So I'm going to do which Ubuntu firewall. It is not there, so I'm going to say app install Ubuntu firewall. And then we could just set up the Ubuntu firewall also. It is not necessary at this time, but we want to just show you some of the stuff that what Ubuntu firewall did. So which Ubuntu firewall, it is there. If I say Ubuntu firewall status, it is cannot determine. Cannot determine. And let me move zoom again. IP table version. Okay, so Ubuntu firewall status is not there. Ubuntu firewall enable could not determine IP table version. It does not need to have IP table. IP table is older. Oh, this is older version. So I'm going to say Ubuntu firewall disable. Yeah, app install IP tables, because IP table works with services. But again, we don't need to just IP tables -L. Yeah, it's not supported protocol. So we are not worried about that one at this time. I'm going to just we did the Python. Let me just take care of Python as we're in the middle of it. I jump back here. Let me go back to Python and show you the NumPy and then pandas there quickly. So if I want to just make sure that NumPy is installed, I could say pep install NumPy. Let's see if this one gets installed. It doesn't. It says that you have to use app install Python 3-NumPy. That will install it, and then it's already reading state information done. And then let's do pandas, and then we get those ones done. So now the both pandas and NumPy is installed, and then I'll show you after this one when it is completed, and that we can just go to Python and use both modules just quickly. That will teach you a little bit of Python. The reason I'm doing all these tools, because you're using this virtual machine in order to do some kind of work, and that could work be for Python programming, C, C++, or Apache web server, or VI, or whatever tool that you want to use, Tmax or something. You just have to get them running there. So this is just happening here, and then 82%. I was almost saying that I'm going to open another window to just not wait for this one, because I want to show you as much as possible on one video. And there, 83%. Let me just open another terminal here. So run as administrator and say yes here, and then we just move this one on top of this, and then we say WSL dash list, and that is dash running, and you could see that is there. WSL dash L dash dash running, you can see that is there. So now WSL host dash hostname dash I. This give you the IP address of the host on that machine. That is the IP address, right? So we could get it that way, and then or we could just log in here. And then on this one, I could say, let me get the IP address of this one. You could say IPA will give you the IP addresses. So IPA and show Ethernet 0 will give you also the information on the INET and stuff. You can say also grep minus I INET, you can do that one and say which one is there. You could say IP route and show. This is going to give you all of that, right? So IP route and show grep minus I default. Default is the one that you want to do it. So, and here is a 192 and the 168. This is the default gateway, right? And this is the one that is there. So you could say for Ethernet 0, grep minus I Ethernet 0, you can see that that is 47.180.119.1. And then if you wanted exactly that IP address, this is field 1, 2, 3, 4. And this way you could say awk print $4. That would just give you the number that you're interested in. So then if XRDP is running ps minus EF grep minus I XRDP, it is running, then let's see if we can connect to this one through remote desktop. So you open a Microsoft Terminal Service Console, and then you type in this IP address that we got here, this number, and then on the Microsoft Terminal Console, we paste this one. Sorry, it was just something else on my buffer. I need to type in that one. It's 47.180.19.1. So the remote desktop sometimes also from your gateway, if you open access to it, you might get to it, and sometimes you don't, depending on what you have it. Like for example, let's get to the IP address of 192.168.254.254. That's my gateway. That's not going to go there. But if I just go to 132, which I have allowed it that host, then you can see that I'm getting connected through that host. That's a Microsoft Windows. And if I say get me there, I have to have the right password. And once I type in the right password, then it's gonna say, oh, okay, I get you there. Then I can go to the virtual machines and I can do whatever I want. But at this time, I'm not going to demo that. I'm going to demo this, and then doing this one. So the IP address that we were getting it's not routing at this time. Whatever's the issue, maybe we will resolve it, maybe we don't. So because I got this one from this XRDP, and systemd is failing. In fact, they're not connecting it through that one. So maybe there's a router on my Frontier that I have to enable that one, because my Frontier, I don't have too many static IP address. With one static IP address, port 3389, you can only open one that I just showed you. I cannot open a second one to allow you through that one. So maybe I cannot demo this one. At a later date, if I switch it, I can just make a second video and show you the graphic part of it there. But the graphic part is similar to this, and then you get into Ubuntu, like for example, let's say MyWebUniversity here is a Ubuntu server. I could start, and then you get a graphical interface. Everything that you do command line, you could also open it on the graphic part there as well. And so you can see here, like I'm starting a virtual machine of Ubuntu, which is called MyWebUniversity is the host name, and then at this time it's booting. And so whether you do Ubuntu virtual machine as a VMware or you do it as a VirtualBox, the one that you're seeing is as a VirtualBox that I did it a long time ago. And then you can also do it as a Windows Subsystem. In this case, in both of these examples, whether you're seeing this window or you're seeing the Windows list, they're both running on Windows 11 operating system as the main host operating system. So all their resources are coming from there. This is going to just come up here, and then I log in. And then the flickering is just a driver for NVIDIA or something. It goes out after you do a reboot or you log in again. Let me see if that is the password. I need to type in a different password. Yeah, different password. And set up this system for different account, different passwords. So yeah, you can see that now I'm logged on the Linux Ubuntu. So the graphic interface here, if you open a terminal, obviously you can just see everything with the graphic interface as well as just doing it, right? So if you click on the application, list of application here, open a terminal, you can click on it, and then just here and you say path minus -n etc os release, release. So path minus -n etc os release, that'll release that more than AIDS. So let me just make sure my keyboard, look at my keyboard is just typing it accurately. Okay, there, come on. Don't write too much than what I'm asking for you. Cat minus -n etc. Okay, so the software needs to be updated on it too. Latest one, but cat minus -n etc os release. So you can see it's 22.04 point long-term support. Sudo su dash, and then I say log in as root. This is a virtual machine that also run on Windows host operating system, Windows 11. And if I say, let's say task select, it is not there. So I say app, look at this one on the etc password file and etc shadow file. So the permission notice is 644 and 640, the shadow file. So I could change the password on the other one to see if that fixed the problem. And notice the etc password file is root in shadow, root honor, and then group is root in shadow for the shadow file. So that is 640 and then 644. So I will just change that one on the other one to see if that helps it on the command line. Let me just minimize this window and go back to the blue screen here. So here I see a password and etc shadow. And notice that this 6 is good, 644, and then this one, the next one, change mode, 640 etc shadow. And then now both of them are accurate based on what we did on the other one, 644 root, and 640 is root shadow. So that is the right permission, yet because this one is not system D, on the virtual machine, if you look at it, it's a system D on this one. So if you clear a screen here and say system CTL status, you will see all the processes are there. So one of the processes is SSHD, for example, and let's say system CTL status SSHD, you can see that it's SSHD. And then in order to get that graphic interface on this one with SSH, we can SSH from the command line to the other IP address, and as well as one way to detect it. Whatever you can do on this one, you should be able to do the other one. But this one is not the system D. So PS3 of process 1, you can see it is all based on system D process, not a net. You can see process 1 is stored with system D, and then all child process are there. If I just say PS minus EF grep minus I grep 1, and you can see one process is the mother of all processes, and that has a lot of child process. So 1 is matching everything here. I say, and instead of grep this one, say grep W1, and then that grep dash W, and then 1. Like that. It's still showing a lot more than what I need to get. I'm gonna put space here and a space here, and then you can see all the parent process of these processes are 1, and this one is 1, and that is a net on this one, which is the system D here. So if I say clear screen, file, user pen and net, you can see which net is a file user sben, and sorry, sben and net. You can see that it's symbolic link to lab system D, and that is the actual directory that we looked earlier. All the files are there, but system CTL command works here. So system CTL cat system CTL cat SSHD, for example, will show the content of process SSHD. If you say system CTL status of SSHD, you can see running here. So if I just say IPA, and then you see the IP address of this machine here, and notice that IP address of this machine is this 254.net here, and then I could say IP route show, that would give me the IP route, and then grep minus I default, and this one is just one line, and that's the default gateway. Net stat minus AN is going to give me the default gateway. But in order to get the IP address here, IPA, you can see the interface here is ENPS3. So in order to get the IP address of that one, you could say ENP0S3. And I'm sorry, ENP0S3. And that would not show IPA, IPA, and then show. You type in show, then you give the interface ENP0S3. So now we are seeing the one that we want, and from that one ENP0S3, you can see the IP address is 192.this1.111. And if this machine is on the network, you can say ping 192.168.254.111. It is the current machine. It is there. Since SSH is running, system CTL status SSHD, I could log into this machine saying that SSH minus L W whatever was my username, Wahid. So I say SSH minus L Wahid 192.168.254.111. This one will prompt me for SSH. Now I type in the password of username Wahid, and if I type in the password correctly, I'm logged on. Now notice that I'm logged on, and then I become Wahid here as ID here. If I say who am I, it shows my terminal where I come from here. So I logged in from this one. If I go on the command prompt here, say cmd, and then I say, okay, now let's log in from Windows here, which is this command prompt of Windows from cprompt. I will say /-l wahid at IP address of 192.168.254.111. Then it's gonna prompt me for this password. And let me see if what is there. Minus the when you do at symbol, you don't put minus L. If you don't put the at symbol, you do that one. So I could not read what I typed in. So now I'm logged on this system. I typed it wrong. The password is going to prompt me again, but this time I type in the right password, and now I should be SSH to the machine here. So this time I say, who am I? Notice that I get this IP address because on my Windows, this is my Windows prompt. So if I just say cmd here and I say IP config, pipe more, and then you can see the IP address of this one is IP version 4 is going to show the IP address that I'm coming from. And then right here, 192.125, and then that's where you see it, 125 here. So here, if I just say who, now I logged on to that machine a number of ways. The current one is this one, because it's SSHD. So PS minus EF rep minus I SSH. You can see a lot of the connection established or there, the listeners are there. So sudo dash, since I have the sudo, I can become sudo here. And then I say lsof minus I, show me port 22, and then I could see that one. A lot of these tools are very intuitive. So if I say systemctl status xrdp is not installed, I could say apt install xrdp, and then we just say, okay, go ahead, install it, see what is happening here. Cache lock could not get locked on the Debian packages. So somewhere else something is happening that is locking this thing. 19 second, 20 second out my process, 7516. So what I need to do is say PS minus EF direct minus I 7516. What is that process? It's a Python. So Python, somehow I was doing something with Python on this system or the other one. So I'm going to exit out of these and see if I just okay. So this is the Ubuntu update is trying to do that one. I could just say don't run this one at this time. I could continue on, or just let it go and then start that sub processes. So this one is a PowerShell. Let me just see my other screen here. This one, I believe this one was coming with the Python. So let's see pwdx. That is going to show me the process ID of executable, the print working directory of executable for that process. No such process. So that is 16, and that is var backup. Somehow some script is running to back up this one. So I'm going to say let's do a kill on it. PS. I'm gonna do a pkill minus pkill minus p 7516. I'm gonna need to do minus p in this case, and that should take care of that process. And then this process no longer there; it's still there. So let's see what is happening. Bar backup. PS minus EFA direct minus I slash bar backup. There's another process here. No, that is my grep command. And grep minus v grep, it should not have anything. So let's just, instead of backup, I'm going to type in that number 7516, 7516, and this is still there with Python. So what is invoked on that one? There's a command called strace minus p and then 75116. You can see all the sub system functions that are created on that one. I'm gonna just kill that one. And then there was a sub process for it also. The sub process is this one. So PS3 of this number. Okay, that is not there. PS3 of 7465, that's the parent process for it. Of that one, yeah. So app system D called this one, and then this one called the other one. So and this is Debian packages. For some reason, some of that upgrade is still packaged there. So PS minus EF grep software. I think it is the update that was doing it minus update. Yeah, update notifier. So 4840. Let me just kill that process. I'm going to kill minus 9 7465 first. And then we just look at the this process to see if there is anyone. You see now it's one is owning this process because the parent process died or killed, and kill minus 9 75 116. Now that one Python 3 is gone, and then now we have no process like that. So what I was doing earlier that was preventing me, because of that, I was doing systemctl status SSHD. Now I am able to do that one, but app install XRDP. Let's see if I could just install XRDP now, since we get rid of that Python process that was hanging. So a lot of these systems like this kind of things that is preventing you, you could take care of it on the fly if you can find out the culprit process, which I did in this case. So now I installed this one. I could do what was the command I just install XRDP. So now I'm going to say systemctl status XRDP. It is already running. You can see here active running, and then ps minus EFA grep minus I XRDP. It is there. So lsof minus I port 3389. That process, you can see XRDP is up and running. So this is good news that we can say we were able to SSH to this machine. Now let's see if we can also do XRDP to it to see if graphical interface with remote desktop would work. Since the port is listening to that one, and then it's Microsoft Web Tools server is the process XRDP, and then I could say that process ID that is showing minus P. If I want to get more further information with detail 183, then this is the process ID of XRDP that I can trace, and then I can do a pipe more, and you can see all the pipes that are open and everything, right? So that is good thing. And then this time, if I say IPA, that is the server, and then notice for this one is 111. Because I was able to SSH to this one, now and the what they call it, the XRDP is running, so I could say Microsoft Terminal Service Console, and then go to 192.168.254.111. And this one should allow me to get into the Xorg, which is good. And then I type in Wahid and then password, my password. And that should drop me to the interface, but because of some configuration or some kind of firewall not allowing it, it just kicked me out. So all I have to do is just allow it in the firewall to port 3389. So how do I do that one? I go here, say Ubuntu firewall status, and then it is inactive. So I say Ubuntu firewall enable, and then now it says, do you want to enable it? You say yes. Ubuntu firewall status, it is active now. So in order to do it, Ubuntu firewall list, it is all these options that I can check it. List is not the one that I want to do, and the status was the one that is active, but I want to open some ports. So I say Ubuntu firewall allow from this IP address. I'm going to say from Ethernet 0 or from any to any of these one to any, and that is a good one. Says allow all of them from any to any, or I could say from Ethernet 0 to any, or from IP address to any. So at this time, I'm going to say from any to any, and then what is the port number is 3389, and then protocol proto is TCP. And now I added that role. grep minus IXRDP ATC services. You can see that process XRDP is not showing up, but usually it's TCP. So you can add UDP, but you don't have to in this case. So now we say Ubuntu firewall status, it's that there. In order to reload it, you say Ubuntu firewall reload, and then now the firewall is opening that port 3389. So clear screen, Ubuntu firewall status. You can see it is listening on port 3389, allowing, not listening, allowing it for IP version 6 as well as IP version 4. And then now let's try the Microsoft Terminal console again. And we say 192.168. I think it was .111. Let me just double check that. IP A show, and yeah, it's 111. 0. And then there's a 203 also, 203, and then we can see which one of those ones are the one that is the right one. So let's say 111, 192.168.254.111. Log in as the user that I want to log in. Okay, let's do a 203. I believe it was 203, the other one. Okay, so some of it might be my firewall that is there because of the port that I showed you. If I go to this port of the 132 that I allowed it, I'm able to log in. So since on this I have only one subnet, and in fact my options are limited here. You can see here. I cannot do it on more than one subnet because they're all more than one IP address on that one static IP address. So on the firewall that I have on my gateway, if I log in there and then I show you, it is limited. I have only one static IP address, meaning that anything on that IP address list, only port 3389 is one. I cannot open it again on that same IP address. So let's go to, I have to undo it on the Windows side in order to open it on this one, but you get the point. You can just have the graphical interface here and you can just do whatever you want. So if I just go to the virtual machine here and then let's say I want to show you the difference on both of them. So right here, if I open a terminal and just say open terminal, where's terminal? Right here. And then you do this one and shift plus and control plus and make it bigger and then CD here. Now, if I just say clear screen sudo dash, I go become root and then say now I have the password for this one. I am root now, ID-1, you can see, and I say which GCC it is installed already. GCC dash version it is there. And then which G++ it is already there. G++ and dash version it is there. So here say app install let's say Python or Pepper might have installed already pep list. It is already there. Let's see pep list and then grep or egrep just show pandas and then also NumPy. Grep for pandas and then NumPy. Those two grep stand for expression grep. So pandas is not installed. I could say pep install pandas, and then that should install pandas. And then we can just use both of them using Ubuntu here. Cat minus n etc os dash release. I'm on Ubuntu. I could say get me to Python. Now say import NumPy as np and import pandas as pd. Now say dir of NumPy, you can see all the packages and functions that are within NumPy, including OS modules and sys modules and path and all the other ones with methods and attributes are there. There are pandas is similarly available for you here, there. If you want to get help on PD, you can get all the PD stuff. If you want to get help on NumPy, you can get it. If you want to just create an array, let's say say import OS and then say OS dot sys and then let us clear the screen here first. So I could show you this. And let's do it at A. We just say A is a list. I'm going to call it L1 for list one, right? So list one is equal X for X. Let's go lowercase X for X and range of 10. You could do that one, and then I'll show you a number of ways you could do this one. And then if X module 2 is equal 0, and then you see now you're just defining a list of even number between 0 and 10, which is 0 to 8. So L1 is defined now. Type of L1 is actually L1 is a list, right? So if you want to do manipulation on this one, because it's that the data structure is a list, what can you do with this one if you're inside here? Let's see. I'm going to this time say print new line character and then times 10. Rather than just doing os.system call, you could just see I could do that one and then I clear my screen to a certain level, right? If I just want to say make it like 18, then it's going to just make it that one. 25, now I get a good clear screen here. I could also call os.system clear it. Or in TP, like Python, I installed it NumPy. I could say in numpy.os.system and then just say clear my screen here. Because NumPy comes in with this one. It is not understanding that one. And so let's see why. NumPy.os. So door of NP, it is should OS is should be there, OS or not. And let's see, door of NP.os. Maybe OS is not part of it, and then maybe it was sys. No. Let's see, panda pd.sys or pd.os. Some of these modules are different, so I'm going to just say os.system. I thought it was part of the NumPy also module. They had it, but we could just use that. And then now I'm going to just define L1 was this, and then I'm going to say L1 times 2. Notice that it is just duplicated that list a second time, right? But if I say L1 plus 2, it's not going to add it because one is integer, one is a list. So in order to make that one possible, then you have to use a NumPy, which is not having any buffer kind of I'm saying buffer memory performance issue, and in addition, it does not matter what is your range. So if I say max is equal 10 here, and I say L1 and define it as x for x and range of max. I don't have to say if mod even or not. Let's say we do that one, and then at this time L1 is define all numbers with 0 through 9, right? If I just do this one and I say L1 times 2, it is done that one. L1 times 5, now the numbers are incremented, but not instead of just multiplied by that one element wise, it is just concatenating one list 5 times, or one list twice, or one list by itself if you just do it like that. So if you say L1 times 10, it's concatenated 10 times. That is not good. That's what we don't want. If I say L1 plus 10, it's not going to work because L1 is a list, a type of L1 is a list, and type of 10 is an integer, right? So now, in order for it to do it, you have to do the same data type. Data type in NumPy or contiguous, and then it is a list of similar the way that it's written in C. It is much faster, no overhead, and then the work is the data type is same. So if I say just create an array of L1 as A of L1 is equal, A of L1 is equal NumPy dot array of L1. Now we have A of L1, same number as L1 has, but one is a type of L1 is a list, and type of L1 A of L1, that one is a NumPy array. So that means that if I say L1 times 2, I just duplicate it. But if I say A of L1 times 2, now every element is multiplied by 2. And if I say A of N times 10, then it is there, by multiplied by 10. If I want to accomplish the same thing with addition, it will do addition. If I do subtraction, it will do subtraction. Element vectorization. For each element is vectorized based on the knowledge that you pass on. But with other one, if I say L1 plus 10, it's not going to do it. So in order to do that one, you could say for item in L1 and say print item plus 10. So this would go within a for loop, but NumPy does that one for you in a fly. It vectorizes, should this one say A1, AL1 times 100. So this is just going to multiply each element by 100. So that is what is nice about it. With NumPy, there's a lot of functionality methods. I'm going to show you a couple of things with pandas also. So this L1 was there. I could just create this one as a series 1 is equal, and I could say a panda dot series and then say L1. So now S1 is a data structure, but it's an array of contiguous data, but it is one-dimensional. So if S1 dot shape, if I look at it, it's the shape is one-dimensional. But if I just want to say make it two-dimensional, I could say, for example, let's create array of B is equal numpy dot array, and then we say an array of two-dimensional. Let's create it with 1, 2, and then 3, and then we just say this, and then also another dimension, and then we say column 1, column 2, and then column 3. So this is another one, and then we just say go ahead, do that one and close it. Now we say B is that. Notice that type of B is a NumPy array, right? So NumPy and B dot shape, you can see it is 2 by 3, which means it's 2 rows and 3 columns. So if I say B of sub 0, it's going to give me the first row. B of sub 1 is going to give me second, the list of columns, right? So if I just want to say make this one as a data frame, I could do that one and say data frame is equal numpy dot pd dot data panda dot data frame, and then the input is this one is B, which is B, and df is now having those ones, and row 1 and row 2 is those ones. But I could also, instead of assigning column 1 and column 2, I could have just done this one when we created the B. When we created the B, we could have just say do this one with 3, 4, 5, and then this one have another one 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, and that's also there. But then I'm going to also define it with comma index index is equal, and then we say column 1, column 2, and then not index, actually columns, I meant to say column 3, column 3. And then just to show you this one, I'm going to leave that one and then see what is, index is not the right word. So here we say columns. And then columns is not recognized. And let me just move this thing. I'm not seeing anything that I type in. Now I see things that I'm typing. I'm going to correct it. So let's see what is my option here. B is equal. So this one was somehow I missed a lot of things here. I thought I typed in 1, 2, 3, and then also 6, 4, 5. So that's an array of that, and then this. Now I have to start another sublist here because this one is 1, this is 2, and that's 3, and then one more for everything here, and then yeah, that worked. So this is what we were trying to do, is the columns and 1 and column 2, and then this information here, if I want to just assign it to a data frame, we don't need this column 1 and column 2. We could just say now instead of this one, I meant to say these numbers 7, 8, 8, 8, and then 9. 9, and then that's an array of that. So B is having what we want to do is 1, 2, 3. So B sub 1 would be the first one. Sorry, B of sub 1 would be that, or maybe another one. Let's see, B. Okay, so this is a list. Sorry, type of B. B is still a list. Oh, it's NumPy. NumPy. So I'm going to say B. We get that one, and then we want to just reference the elements by row and column. So if I just want to say B of and then the first inner one is 0, and then comma second element. So 1, and then this is out of range 0. Yeah. So this would be giving you the first element. The 1 would be like out of range because we don't have that in the list of options. So if I want to just say print the row 1 of column 0, it's not going to do it, but 0 and 0 would do it, and then I have to go with each one element of it. But let me not just spend too much time on this, and I want to show you what data frame first. So now we have B here. We say data frame is equal. We're going to try to do this one as a data frame. So panda.data frame, and we're going to just say B. And so let's see what data frame, pt.data frame, data frame. Why is that saying that? Oh, the shape is 1, 2, 3. That's the shape has to be the right one. So b dot shape is 1 by 3 by 3. That's not right. So it has to be 3 by 3 by 3 in order to get it into same column. So that's why that shape is not right. So in order for me to correct it, I have to redefine B here, and that is one row and three columns, 3 by 3. And then this one, I have to do one more. So I'm going to just reduce it to 2 by 2. That way, we just don't have too much data to get it confused. I can always just size it differently, but at this time it is that 1 by 2, and then B is this. So now B dot shape, it has to be two. It's still 2 by 3. I wanted 2 rows and 2 columns. So if I wanted 3 columns, then I have to do 3 columns. But I want to say, and when I did it 2 rows, I want to do 2 columns also. So that is now 6 and 7, whatever number, doesn't matter. So now B dot shape is 2 by 2. So since 2 by 2, I could just say, okay, that's good. Now I can say the data frame should work here this time. Data frame now is there. And if I want to just assign some columns there, I could just say here B columns, and then and that one should be not a string, it should be is equal an array of a list. So array of a list with column 1, and then column 2, and then that is that list. Now the df is now assigned like columns in this. So df dot call 1 would give you that row, that column. Df dot call 2 give you that one. At the same time, if you say df and then on the list, sorry, df call 1, you could do that one, or df call 2, you could get that data, or you could get both of them, df and then array of indices of a column. So call 1 and then comma call 2, and then that would give you that information, but it did not. Let's see why it not. I'm gonna say df dot look for looking for those two, and see if that returns it. Call 1 is there, package name, list of pandas, key error. So somehow the key is getting error, but I could say, let me just get this one. Look is for the column, and then column, actually it's row, not column name. So the row is, in this case, is whatever the number was there. So df is 0. df of this one would be 0. In this case is row number 0. And then df of 1 would be also that, and so 6 and 7. But if I want to get the one that I was typing, df.iLook for integer and look, that's integer. So I could say 0, comma, that's let's get the 0 first, and then that would give you, if I want to do a 0 colon, that would give me everything, and then let's say 0 colon, and then comma 1. It is only giving you 2 and 5, and if you want 0, would be giving you 1 and 6. So those are how you trace them on the data frame there. Again, you can reassign them some values and so on, everything. If you want a specific one of them, like for example, row 0, column 0, that would give you 1. And if you want to assign that one to a 10, you could, or 19, in this case I did, you just get 19 back, and the F itself, it's already changed. And there's a lot of things you can do with pandas and other ones. I will have a separate video, but I would just wanted to demonstrate a little bit with NumPy and other ones after you install what you could do. And then here, which GCC is already installed, so I'm not going to do apt install GCC and other ones. But on the other one that we were not able to get into the XRDP, I believe right here, I'm going to just minimize this one. It's almost time for me to sleep, so I'm going to finish this video soon. And maybe 10 minutes more and then I should be done. So right here in WSL-L and dash running, you can see if I just go this one, dash running, you can see the list of that there. So what do I do here? Say, go ahead, WSL started. It's gonna drop me there. I'm gonna say cd sudo su dash and then password. And so clear screen, let me make this screen bigger. And then right here, if I just type in which in GCC, it's already installed, so -v, it will show you the version and GCC -v. It's showing you that one, GCC version. It's showing you the version 13.2. Then G++ version, it is already installed. So I must have installed it. If I want to remove it, I could remove it. If I want to write a program in C, I could just say make a directory on the cd to home wahid. And then do I have any files? No. Make directory, make dir -p. Wahid, actually programs, and then C, and then make dir -lowercase p, and for some reason I type in uppercase P when I meant this uppercase P on there. And then also create a directory called programs C++. So now I have two directories under program files. One is C and one is C++. cd to C, and then vim hello.c, and then pound include, and then standard io.h, and then end main, and then function start the argument printf statement hello word, and then just say that, and then new line characters, and then semicolon, and return, and then just return, and then 0 successfully, and then close the brace, and you're done with this program. Clear screen, cat -n hello.c, file hello.c is a source code of C program, and now say gcc -o hello, and then hello.c. Now the program has a line terminator error, then hello.c. On the new line characters, I forgot to put the code here, close the code on the word. I meant to do something like this, and then I just had double quote. So clear screen now. You can see the line 4, it had that quotation there. So that's why it complains there. So if I just compile it again, it says now I'm missing semicolon after the return statement. So let's do a vim again and then go to 0, so there, and then add the semicolon, and then save it. Now compile it again, and it works. Say hello star, and then one is there as executable, the other one is as a regular file. So if I say hello here, it's going to say hello world. If I want to just modify it to something, I could do that one, but I'm not gonna do that one. Say copy hello.c, and then onto a C++, and we call it hello.c++, and then let's go to C++ directory, and then hello.c++. Actually, I named it the C++. The extension doesn't matter, the uppercase or lowercase. So if I just want to compile this one as a C++ code, let's see, cat -n hello.c++. It has the include, and I say G++, which is the G++ or C++ compiler, minus O Wahid. I could name it anything. Hello dot C plus hello dot G++ minus O Wahid hello dot C++. You can see that now file Wahid got created. File Wahid is the executable. And then file Wahid is the executable. So Wahid should say hello dot G++ and say dot slash Wahid. It is saying hello world, right? The other one I missed the A in there, that's why it didn't work. So Wahid, that's my name. I better type my name correctly. So here, and this one is hello Wahid. And now if I want to just RM Wahid here, and then say, okay, this is a C++ code, move hello.c and call it hello.c++. It still is going to be a C code. Hello, see that C source code. Now I'm going to say modify this hello.c++ and just instead of the standard IO, I'm going to say IO stream. That's the this, and then instead of this one, I say using namespace std, and then right here I could just use printf statement, or I could say cout. C out, and then hello word, and then instead of this one, I could say double quote, and then another double thing, and then end line, and then that would just return it. So let's see, clear screen file hello.c++. Now it says C++ source code file, and then G++. If I don't say minus O, I just say hello.c++. It creates a a.out file. So IO stream, I mistyped it, so I have to correct it, hello.c++, and then search for IO, and then just put str string, and that is correct. Now run this one, and it's going to create a file a.out, but let's see why it doesn't. Okay, so some token is missing. Let's see where it is. Yes, vim hello.c++. Right here, this is unnecessary, and that's the code, and then everything else should be okay. Clear screen, and then compile it, and then now ls minus a.out is there, file a.out, and then run a.out, it says hello world. If you want to just modify it with G++, and then say a.out minus O hello, and then hello.c++, you could also do that one. And now hello is the same file hello as a.out, they are the same executable. If I say def between hello and a.out, there's not any difference. Echo $? is successful there. So you could do anything you want to do it on these systems and compile it. If I just want to run this one with GDB, which GDB it is installed, so I could say G++ minus O minus G as the debugger on, minus O hello, and then hello.c++. Now the file that is there with file of hello, it is with debugger option on, right? Dynamic link library. So now I can say GDB, you see the debugging info right here. So GDB minus GDB hello, if I want to get it in hello.c++, the source code. Now GDB opens up, and you can see the program is loaded. And if I say run, it is going to run and says, go ahead and do it, and then I say hello world. If I say list, I could see the content of it, and then I can go back into the main, set up a break, or I can quit. Anything you want, you could do that. If you wanted this one, say run next, and then you could do next and next till and the program finish, and then eventually you run it and then exit out of it, and so on. Or you could just say list, and then say let's say we could do a step, and you could do also as a layout next. Yeah, so you can get into a assembly code of it to see it, all the options there, and then you can just since it is already exit out, I could just say quit out of this one, and then clear screen, say run this one, and then layout set. List first, and then say layout and next, and then you can see the program there. Process, no process exited. Quit. Let me just do one more time. Layout next, and then yeah, that's a assembly code for it. So I'll just we run it a number of times. You could just say gdb hello, and then hello.c++, and then R for run, and then it will just run it, and it says hello world there. Quit with the layout next and other ones, you could do that too as well. So that was for C++. I need to finish it. I said 10 minutes and it's not done yet. What else I need to show you on this one? We did this, and then IP address, and I think we showed you what I needed to show you. If you have any question, you can always put it on the notes on the video, what you're trying to find out. Maybe your machine is going to give you a different set of errors, and then just understand that system D is not supported on those Windows Subsystem, and then the earlier version is init, which is System 5. So if you're getting dbus error or any other ones, wait till Microsoft and Ubuntu and other systems are getting it. Yeah, I know now what I need to show you. Here I could just exit out of this one, Windows Subsystem L, and I showed you that is Ubuntu. So I say Windows Subsystem -L -online, show me what is available. Now, if I want to get this version of, let's say, Oracle 9, Linux 9, I could just say WSL -install, and then just put this version that I want to install here. And that's how simple it is. So you just give the name of the distribution. It will go through installation and install it. And then once the installation is completed, it will allow you to create an account. And then notice here it says create the account. I'm going to create the same account password, so I don't have to do it 10 different accounts. And that was fast, and then clear screen. So the clear screen doesn't work now, and this one is cat -n etc os-release is Red Hat. You can see it's Oracle Linux Server 9.1. It's an Oracle virtual machine, Oracle OL, or Oracle virtual machine. So cat -n etc Red Hat-release is a Fedora distribution, right? Fedora distribution in there, but not this clear screen doesn't work, but I can say app list, and then get a list, not app list, DNF list. YAM and DNF are the repository for it. YAM is the old yellow dock update manager that is now symbolic linked to DNF-3, and DNF-3 is the package manager. There's a lot of other things that is on Red Hat that is different than Ubuntu and other ones. So like for example, if I just say word count minus L, that is 93. And if I 93, 91. So if I say sudo su dash and then so now I'm there. Remember, clear screen doesn't work, so I say dnf install clear. And then once I install the clear package, then I should be able to clear my screen. A lot of the basics should have been there, but you have to do update in order to make sure that all the packages are there. These are basic functionality that should be there. Notice unable to find match clear. So if I say DNF provides clear command, then I say, well, what is the name of the package? It says the package name is ncurses, right? So I could say DNF install ncurses dash 6.2 dash 10. That's good enough to just say DNF install. And let me just make sure ncurses. And then that is not finding version 6 is not finding, and then DNF plugin. So if it doesn't find it, what you want to do is clear did not work, right? So I'm going to say DNF hostname doesn't work either. And you can see that some of these packages. So in order to get it, I say DNF update dash Y and DNF upgrade dash Y. You want to run that one first to make sure all the repositories are up to date. So when you say DNF repo list clear screen, sorry, DNF repo list, you can see that those are the packages. Now I'm going to say the DNF install curses to see if we can get that one. DNF provides clear command. Let's see if we can get the name correctly. The name of the package is all the way up to here. So I'm going to try that one. Say DNF install and then that package name. And this is the repo, and then this is the package name that we want to install. And then once you install the ncurses, now we clear screen, it works. So hostname does not work, you say DNF. DNF provides hostname. What is the binary that allow that one? Since it is not finding it, I'm going to do a star here. And a star here, you can say whatever SBIN the binary is there, find matching a host name. Okay, the string host, I typed it with S. It's without S, host name. That's why it didn't find it. Now it should find the package name. You can see the name of the package that are matching there. There's a lot here. And then the one that we want to do is, let's say host name, I think it is, I'm going to say ben slash this. And then that is a shorter version. So system D 254. Yeah, let's do this one package and just to see if it is part of that package. So I'm going to say DNF install that package system D 252. And then we say yes, go ahead and do that one. And then clear screen, which host name, and host name is still not there. DNF provides, and then star is bin slash host name, maybe the name. If the package name is that, no. And then I'm gonna say bin, this host name, yeah. So one package is found and that's host name itself. So we're gonna say DNF install notice that the way I search on the bin, that is better than previous search, so you just have to get the right version. Clear screen, which host name now is there, host name is gonna work. And then the other command that was not working was hostname, or clear was working, clear works, hostname works, and then calendar, I don't know, yeah, calendar works, and which GCC doesn't work, so we say DNF install GCC. And then install that one and GCC will work. Which in GCC now it's installed, GCC dash version will give you that one, or GCC dash application, that lolcat V will give you that. So which G++, for C++ is not there. And instead of DNS, I could use yum also, yum install G++. So that's equivalent to running DNF, because at this time, yum is symbolic link to DNF3. So file user then yum is symbolic link to DNF3. File is not installed, so I have to say DNF provides file. And then once you see that which one is the file, one of these binaries or the file for it. So let's try the first one here, that 5.39. So we're going to say clear screen DNF install file, and I just have to type the letter F in front of it because I missed that one over there. And then yes, and now you can see that file is part of it. So which file is there? File user ben yum, it is symbolic link to DNF3, and file user ben DNF is also symbolic link to DNF3. But DNF-3 is actually a binary executable Python script. So if we say cat -n, etc, sorry, user ben DNF-3, it is a Python 62 lines there, you can see. So by working on this system, you know in and out of it. And I hope this video helps you. If it does help you and you want to see more videos, please subscribe. Even better than that, if you want to help me, share these videos, because I'm making these videos to help and inspire other students and developers. So everybody could just do their job better and then do good at their community and just have an income, help their family and support their loved ones. And if you do share these videos and then somebody else share with somebody else, we're going to share a lot of knowledge around the globe. And then by sharing, you show you care. God bless you all. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Oh, before I end, actually, let me share my screen again. I don't want to just end it here. I want to show you one more thing, because I said this is a full video. Remember when now you say Windows Subsystem L, you could see that this is a list of the Oracle that are installed here. So if you want to just uninstall something like this one or this one, you could do that one. Say, for example, if you want to just say dash running, and then say terminate one of them. So Ubuntu is running right now. I could say Windows Subsystem -T, and then Ubuntu, because on the other one I got out, and this other one is still somewhere here logged on. If I just exit out of here, obviously it will be terminated. But if I just didn't want to do it, I could just terminate like this too. Now WSL by default is just getting me to Ubuntu, and uptime of that one is just 0 minute because I terminated. But if I just exit out of this one and say Windows Subsystem -L is this, and now the default is Ubuntu, and I want to change it to Oracle, I could say WSL-S Oracle Linux 9.2, and I'm sorry, 9.1, that's not there, 9.2 is there, operation succeeded. Now say WSL-L, you could see that it is default is this. If I want to switch it back to this one, and instead of this, switch it to Ubuntu, and then now changed, and then WSL-L, now it is back to this. So whichever one you switch, let's say I want to switch to Ubuntu, which I did as default one. If I type in WSL, it's going to go to Ubuntu. Cat -n etc os-release, that is the one there. And uptime of that one is 0 minutes because I just had terminated. But if I just say switch it to Oracle, and then now WSL-L, I could say -- running. I could see which ones are running. Both of them are running. Yet if I say just -L, no, -- running, one of them is nothing is running. So if I say show me the one that is default, I could do this, and then it says that Oracle is there. Now, if I run that WSL, it's gonna take me to Oracle. Cat -n etc os-release, you can see that it is there. You can also, like here, you could see that it is there. Clear screen uptime. And since that one is terminated also, it's 0 minute. So if I exit out of this one, I can also execute a command here. The WSL -e, and then say cat -n etc host file. I can see the content of the host file, etc os-release. Cat -e uptime. Not cat, WSL -e uptime. I must start with inaccurately. So here, any command you do df-h, you can do that, and the cat -execute, or this one, run the calendar command. So that is your options. You can do this one. And if you say, well, I want to see -e, cat -n etc os-release. If this is Ubuntu, no, it's not. It's Oracle. So how do I make it back to Oracle? Say WSL-L, and then you see that it is default is Oracle. You say WSL-S Ubuntu. Now you say then cat -n, and then that would show you Ubuntu. And then if you want to just remove it, one of them or something, you could do also. So let's say I don't want the Oracle one or the Ubuntu one. I say WSL-L, whichever one I don't want. I could say WSL config -u for unregistered, and then the name of it. So if I wanted to do the Ubuntu, I could just say like that, and it's going to unregister it. I could do that one, or I could say WSL and -- unregister the name of it. So unconfig, WSL config /u will do that one, as well as the other one. It is taking a little bit time because it is not terminated. We could terminate it for sure, and that would go there faster. This other screen, I'm going to say WSL-L. Now, if whatever is on the list here on this option, it will show me, but notice that it is slow. Something is again on the Windows Subsystem is saying that you're working too fast on me. And like, yeah, here right here is that one is a different one. That's on a virtual machine. So I'm going to exit out of that one, and then I could close the virtual machine also here, and say here you could say power off or shut down here. You could or just here say log out or power off. So you could say power off first. Notice this screen is just hanging there. So I'm gonna just try from the command line here because the Poweroff, I'm not gonna see it. And then I need the screen faster, so you have to log in first. And then right here, I could say shutdown -H now or power off and power off. This would power it off and then sync, and then power off. Or because I'm not running anything, so I'm going to do it. This is just a VM. But on a production system, you have to be very, very careful. What you're doing is could just inadvertently cause an issue if you don't pay attention. So this is going to shut down itself gracefully. And then this other screen, when we were doing it, it's done already. Let's see if we can clean up everything and the way we want to do it. This one is, yeah, clear screen WSL-L. Should say that what is Ubuntu is removed. If I want to get to remove this one also, remember on one of them I used WSL config/u and then the name of the Ubuntu, Ubuntu like that, and then the name is not case sensitive. In this case, I'm going to say WSL Windows Subsystem Linux, and then I need to just put the -- and register option, and then or Oracle this machine name. So this will also remove it. When you do this one, notice that everything will be removed. So you just give the name of it. Now it is done, and so you just say this list is nothing there. We're back to square one with everything as we started. And then if you just want additional help, you just say -- help. Here the whole help is there, and then you're welcome to explore all those other options and take care. Now you see this one is powered off. I'm gonna be done with that one. I'm going to WSL-L, nothing here. And then yet you still have WSL-L-O. These are all still options that you can just say install additional software like OpenSUSE or Ubuntu or Debian or Kali Linux. Each one of them you can practice with them. I showed you a few of them, but I could show more if you have more questions. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye. This time for sure, bye-bye.